o'clock right here at Sale Pepe, so thank you, Angelo, for hosting us again this morning. Really appreciate that. We have Lucy, I call you Lucy, it's Lucille, what they wrote here.
I know, that's fine.
We're going to call you Lucy.
Lucy
Harriman is the Community Banking District Manager for Greater Danbury at Wells Fargo. In that role, she serves community banking and small business customers throughout the region with financial solutions. She manages 10 banking stores and oversees a team of 100 bankers, tellers, and store managers. Ms. Harriman's presentation titled Preparing for the Chip. I'm excited about learning more about that. What your business needs to know about payment processing. We'll explain the upcoming federally mandated changes to the credit card processing. This presentation will show guests what businesses need to do to prepare for the new credit card chip, as well as addressing preparation for the changing payroll tax laws. Oh, payroll taxes. So welcome, Lucy, and please introduce your team.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Tim. And thank you all of you for allowing us to come to speak with you this morning. I am Lucy Harriman, and I'm a Senior Vice President and District Manager at Wells Fargo Bank. That I cover the Newtown store, as well as 9 other locations in the surrounding towns. And we do, in those stores, we have really highly trained professionals to help you with everything other than chip, okay, and payroll taxes. I have with me today Natalie Moore, and Natalie is the manager of our Newtown location on Churchill Road. That's in the Carluzzi's parking lot there. So just a little bit about what we do. Our mission here at Wells Fargo is to help people, our customers, succeed financially. And we do that really by learning. We sit with everybody one-on-one, learn about what's important to you, your priorities as a customer and a small business owner, and then customize a plan around what works well for you. We actually also just designed a website called wellsfargoworks.com. And then on that website is a great website for any business owner or anybody that wants to be a business owner. And it has resources and tools that you can go into and explore ways to start a business, write a business plan, and actually grow your business. So if you have not seen that, I suggest that everybody goes on to wellsfargoworks.com, and I think you'll really appreciate what's on there. So really what we do here today is we, in addition to speaking to businesses, I go out into the community a lot. And I talk to senior citizens, school-age children, teens, and everybody else in between. So it's a great part of my job to be able to give financial education in the community I serve. So that's the part of my job that I really enjoy the most. And today we're really here to talk about business. And there's lots of upcoming changes, I'm sure you know, around credit card processing. And we wanted to be sure that each of your businesses are prepared for what that means to you as a business. You also probably know that payroll taxes, there's constant changes around payroll taxes. So I have brought 2 people with me today who are experts in those fields. I have Paul Amato, who's our merchant services partner, and Paul will walk you through the changes that are required by the government regulations regarding chip processing. And I also have Keith with me today, Keith Wendling from our payroll services. And Keith will give you any updates on payroll taxes or better ways to help your business stay in compliance with payroll taxes. So with that, I'd like to introduce Paul Amato from Merchant Services.
Thanks, Lucy. Thanks everybody for taking the time. I appreciate it. Just a little background about Wells Fargo Merchant Services. We started in the credit card processing game in 1976. And we were actually the first company to process a secure credit card transaction over the internet in 1995. Just want to give you guys some quick stats that Intuit did a 1,000 business survey of people who use their QuickBooks as well as their credit card processing and payroll. The average business who doesn't accept credit cards waits on an average about $5,000 in overdue payments on a monthly basis. Also, when businesses accept credit cards, 83% of them make more money. 52% of that make $1,000 or more a month. There's also 18% of those businesses make more than $20,000 a month when you accept debit and credit cards. Maybe some of you have been to a deli where it's cash only, and you have to go to the ATM, take money out. Well, that ATM fee that you pay goes in their pockets at the deli. Not to mention, you're getting hit with that $2 fee and maybe a $2.50 fee from your own bank. So So it's costing the consumer money and driving customers away. I'll be honest, I won't go to a deli if I know they don't accept debit and credit cards, because maybe it'd be beneficial for the business owner, but in my eyes, there's 100 other delis I can go to that'll take my airline miles, my hotel points, my gift cards, my cash back. Some of the benefits that we offer at Wells Fargo in regards to merchant services is a customized solution. So like Lucy said, we're here to help our customers succeed financially, and we do that by really digging deep and finding out what your business needs and how you're processing, maybe to streamline it, make it more efficient, reduce costs, increase cash flow. Some of the ways we do that is we give you next day funding on your money, including American Express. So if some of you take credit cards, sure, if you're not getting American Express next day, that's something we offer, which is huge in an area like Newtown where you have more affluent customers. When you have affluent customers, more likely than not, Amex is a big part of your business. We manage compliance. To us, security is everything. Our reputation at Wells Fargo to us is everything. We want to do right by our customers. We want to make sure that you guys are processing securely, with whether it's payroll, merchant services, your bank account. Your security is everything to us, and we take that very serious. We also have 24/7 customer relation. You can call anytime, any day of the year. Poor guys who have to work on Christmas, New Year's, 4th of July we were talking about, they're there all the time for you. Not everybody offers that. You can also get your reporting on a daily basis. We have hourly reporting of your sales, depending on what product you're using. We also integrate with QuickBooks in a few of our features. One of our POS systems integrates on a daily basis automatically to your QuickBooks account. Makes it nice and easy for yourself, for your accountants. Our websites, we integrate with most websites and virtual terminals, as they're called, that also integrates with QuickBooks. Now we're here to talk about the chip. I have some flyers for you. Right, is this a flyer? Yeah. Oh. Thanks, Natalie. So EMV, the microchip. Some of you may have had your debit and credit cards replaced with that little gold or silver chip. What's happening is the government put a new regulation in place to help stop credit card fraud or help reduce counterfeit credit card transactions. And what they've done now is they're requiring all businesses who take credit cards in person, restaurants, delis, dry cleaners, liquor stores, you name it, where there's card transactions happening. They have to upgrade their equipment to be able to accept the microchips by October 1st of this year. And that's not a Wells Fargo policy or regulation. That is a government regulation that if after October 1st deadline you're taking debit and credit cards without the chip capabilities and you get hacked into, kind of like a Home Depot, a Target, an Neiman Marcus, all these big realtors use, I was looking at you thinking realtors, no, companies.
I didn't do it.
It's your fault, huh? Then you're going to be liable for $214 per customer that has ever swiped on your machine. So if you're Newtown Deli, or you're Sal and Pepe, and you've had 1,000 customers, and you get breached, $214,000 in minimum fines. And the reason that $214 is so important, that covers identity theft protection, that covers any lawyer fees, any loss of funds for your customers if they do get hacked into. So with that being said, you can imagine why Home Depot is a $1 billion lawsuit right now. All those customers' cards were jeopardized. You have to replace those cards. You have to provide identity theft protection. And it's just really a big headache that you guys don't necessarily want to have to deal with. You want to run your business. You're great at restaurants or delis or your specialties. You don't want to have to worry about, is my credit card machine secure? Am I processing efficiently? And am I at risk? Right? One other great feature we have, and if Home Depot and Target would have had this, it's called TransArmor. It's an encryption service. So when I come and I take my credit card out, the waiter comes and swipes it on this machine. What we do, within 1 second, we take that credit card number, remove it from the electronic database, replace it with a fake or token credit card number. So that if Home Depot, I'll give you an example. We're at Home Depot, swipe our card. The money is out in cyberspace with your credit card information. It's got Paul Amato, here's his credit card number, all my info. Transmits to Home Depot's bank account. Home Depot got hacked in the virtual space. So when they saw Paul Amato's credit card right here, that's exactly the right number. So they can take that and they can go shopping. They can buy whatever they want, take cash advances, you name it. So by having this encryption service that we offer for free to our customers, they would have had fake credit card numbers for everybody. Nobody would have been liable. No one had to get new credit cards because all the token numbers are fake. So that's an additional security we have.
Are you able to trace the fake cards back to the perpetrator?
Well, no, we've replaced the real card numbers with the fake card numbers so that if the perpetrator gets in there, they have all the wrong information. So you are not at risk with your credit card. So if my credit card is 411111, we replace that with 55555. And we make it fake. Which
Can I
is
ask you a
very
question about that?
Sure.
We use Heartland as our credit card processor. The credit card number, I'm able to access that. Let's say there's an adjustment that needs to be made.
Sure.
I can go back into the system and get their credit card number to make that adjustment. Can you not do that with this system?
You could, but normally we work off the invoice numbers, so we block out all the numbers except for the last four of the credit card.
Right.
Because if you can go in there, if someone in your staff
Someone
has
else can go in
access,
there,
you know, and you hire someone that you think you can trust, a bartender, manager, assistant manager, head waiter, you want to name it, and they have access to go in and do voids or refunds, they'll be able to go in and see all those credit card numbers. So with us, you'd be able to see, depending on your POS system, of course, it's individualized, you'd be able to see only the last four numbers of the credit card. So if they went in, they would see Paul was here with Lucy having dinner, invoice number 1.
Correct.
You'd go into invoice number 1 and you'd be able to void that transaction out.
Oh, okay.
It would not show our full account number. You know, Heartland, one of the better ones out there. Personally, if I was a business owner, I would go with Wells Fargo, then Heartland. Gotta say that. No, Heartland's great. Pretty secure. They do a good job. You know, we have some different benefits. We give next day funding on American Express. You know, we're full service, just like
They
them.
do also though.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I would
Yeah.
go with them or Wells Fargo. Everybody else, the guys that walk in off the streets, that promise you the world and leave, be very careful with them. They lock you in the contracts that you don't know about with massive cancellation fees, and they promise to deliver, and they never do. I'm sure you guys have seen it 100 times, people walking in trying to solicit you, right? A couple promotions we have that are always ongoing. We have a $100 rebate once you come on board with Wells Fargo. We rebate you any startup fees or anything that, you know, to give you an extra $100 as a little incentive to come on board. Also, we pay for any cancellation fees. So if you guys have contracts with Heartland Payment Systems, I believe they have a $500 cancellation fee. We would cover that in full, so you guys would not be out a penny to come on board. If you look in your folders here, here's a little more detailed breakdown of the chip payments and what it is. Now for you in the POS system, I'm not sure what this company's going to have for you. With our 2 POS systems we sell, it comes with a pin pad that takes it, just like you see here. So I'd get in touch with your POS company and see how they're preparing for the chip, because it is pretty individualized. But this will give you a little more information on it. It's got my contact. If you guys have any questions, feel free to email me, call me. You know, I'd love to do a free review if you are accepting debit and credit cards. If I can save you money or I can provide some value, I'll tell you. If I can't, I'm not going to come in and be the guy that walks in off the street and lie to you and break your hearts. That's not the way I like to do business. But that being said, you know, I work closely with Keith here in payroll, and we're kind of a tag team. So we try to go on appointments together because, you know, he also has a lot of benefits of payroll that integrate with merchant and vice versa. So it's kind of, we try to go hand in hand together. But with that, I'll turn it over to Keith.
Thanks, Paul. Alrighty, Keith Weinling, and yes, I have the payroll hat that I wear. It's interesting. Payroll is one of those things with businesses that, you know, sometimes I joke about it a little bit. You know, when I go in and talk to a business person, and I say, you know, you don't have volunteers that all staff your business. You've got to pay your folks in some way, shape, or form. And most of the time, when people think about payroll, the biggest thing that people think about payroll is that little rectangle on the check that says net pay. And that's really all they want to know about payroll, because that's how much money they're bringing home. Okay. But my role at Wells Fargo is I work primarily with small businesses. You want to know where my office is? It's the little red car in the parking lot. I drive all over the place. I meet people at the different branches. I meet them at their place of business, wherever it makes sense. But what we do, not unlike some of the bigger processing companies like ADP and Paychecks and QuickBooks and Intuit, we take care of all the taxes that a small business would be liable for. We take care of all of the filings that a small business would be liable for. On a regular basis, every single business, and this is an interesting piece, if a business has 1 employee, or if a business has 10, 15, 20, 100, 200, or 1,000 employees, every business in Connecticut, every 3 months, they have to file a quarterly tax return called the 941, which reconciles federal income taxes, Social Security taxes. And the Social Security taxes are part from the employee and part from the employer. So every business, every 3 months, has to file that 941 form. In addition, the state of Connecticut says, well, we want a piece of the action too. So you have to file a CT, Connecticut, a CT 941. So that adds to the fun of what you've got to do as far as statutory requirements are concerned. And then the third piece that every 3 months you have to file is a Connecticut unemployment tax return. So every 3 months, every quarter, whether you've got 1 person working for you or you've got many, many more, you are required to file these 3 tax returns, which is part of what Wells Fargo does. So what we try to do for a small business person or a small business organization is to say, you know what, let us allow you to concentrate on your business and what makes money for you, your core business. Don't worry about making deposits every single week. Don't worry about making deposits every month or every quarter, whatever it's got to be. We'll take care of those deposits, and we will guarantee 100% that everything that we do to make your deposits and file your taxes is correct, or we will be responsible for any penalties or interest. Okay, and the tax laws change all the time. I'm sure if you've got small businesses here, you saw at the beginning of this year, everybody got some type of a supplemental tax bill in the mail from the state of Connecticut for unemployment. That was the other third return you have to file, the unemployment tax return. And it's some crazy formula that says, the state had to borrow money from the federal government because they didn't have enough when times were tough and they had to pay out all these unemployment benefits. So every business got a different kind of a bill. Some companies got a bill for $12, $15, $17. Some companies got bills for thousands of dollars in liabilities for unemployment taxes. But that's all part of what we do as far as our service is concerned. And I guess I don't want to make it an advertisement per se from a Wells Fargo standpoint, but the other piece that we try to do in terms of providing the service to the business community is to make it a full service kind of a program. So it's not just a payroll check. It's not just direct deposit if the person doesn't want to cash a check. It's not just depositing taxes and not just filing taxes. We also were encompassed, for example, workers' compensation, which is an integral part of a business also. If somebody happens to get hurt while they're working for your business, you don't want to be liable for medical bills or disability or things like that. So we'll tie that workers' compensation piece into the payroll program in such a way that A, the business doesn't have to pay for the insurance premiums up front, which from a cash flow standpoint is wonderful for small businesses. And B, the other piece that we'll do is at the end of a 1-year period for workers' compensation, most small businesses have to go through a wonderful audit. And using the program that we have at Wells Fargo, you don't have to go through that audit. The audit just kind of goes away because you're doing a little bit every single time you do payroll. So I'll bring that piece into focus. The last thing, I did this, and I put the papers over here. And I'll pass these out if you're interested. But one of the things I run into a lot when I go out to talk to small businesses is I run into people who are paying cash. And I'm not the IRS, and I'm not an accountant or a CPA either, so I respect whatever it takes to get a small business to work. Is what you got to do, right? Along with cash, there's a lot of questions that come up as to should somebody be a regular employee, a W-2 employee, or should they be a subcontractor, 1099, independent contractor, that sort of thing. And there's a lot of gray areas that come into play when you try to determine whether somebody should be a W-2 employee or a 1099 employee. So I did a little research, and I keep this in my presentation kit when I go out and I talk to small businesses. It's actually some testing or some suggestions from the IRS that says, ask yourself these 5, 6, 7, 20 different questions about person or business that you're paying money to, as to whether you should categorize them as a 1099 or as a W-2. Because if you do it as a 1099, as a business, you will save a lot of money, right? You know, you're not paying unemployment taxes, you're not paying Social Security taxes, you're not paying workers' comp. There's a lot of savings to make somebody a 1099 or an independent contractor. But on the flip side, and I hate to say it, but I've seen it, if you've got somebody in that kind of a capacity and for whatever reason they raise their hand to the state, you know, or to the IRS, or they apply for unemployment not knowing that they're not eligible for unemployment, once the state or the IRS gets a hold of the fact that there might be one person or more than one person incorrectly categorized, I've seen businesses go out of business within a month with the fees they get charged by the IRS and by the state of Connecticut. So sometimes it's like a little bit of a gamble. Do I want to just roll the dice and save some money every single week, or do I want to make sure I'm going to be in compliance and, you know, pay whatever I have to pay? And we at Wells Fargo, I can't tell you which way to do it, and we handle both. So if there are folks working for you, you can have some people that you pay as W-2 employees, and you can have some people you can pay as 1099s. We'll do both. We don't, you know, we'll help you out both ways. But I'll leave these on the table. You can grab a copy, and if it helps you in your business endeavors, by all means. Other than that, the service we have at Wells Fargo is rather unique in that we do everything ourselves. We don't outsource it or sub it out to anybody else, any other companies. We just look at ourselves as being an alternative to some of the bigger box payroll companies. The service is really, really excellent. The pricing is extremely competitive. And you don't have to bank with Wells Fargo, which I found to be very interesting when I started doing this. Because I thought Wells Fargo was going to say, you know, you have to have a bank account with Wells Fargo to do payroll with us. And probably 98% of the clients I work with do have bank accounts with us. But there's a small number out there also who say, you know what, I want the security of doing this with a bank. I don't want to use an outside third party. Or if I am a client of Wells Fargo, I want to be able to consolidate everything under a Wells Fargo umbrella. So if I'm doing my banking over here, I can toggle over and I can do my payroll over here. If there's a cash flow issue, it gets resolved really, really quick. I get free direct deposit services. I get a program that we call Wells at Work, which gives certain benefits and caveats to all the employees of the business that does payroll with us. So we can help their employees as well. So it's kind of a nice program. So anytime anybody has questions, I'm happy to make myself available. If you wanted a comparison with whatever you're doing now, I'll give you a free comparison, make up your mind which way you want to go. And that's about it. Thank you for your time. Appreciate it. I'll leave these over here if you guys have copies if you want.
Thank you, Paul and Keith. And certainly, if does anybody have any questions for either Paul or Keith that you can think of? I know you asked them as you're going along. Okay. And I do want to say merchant and payroll services qualify for a free checking account. So. But other than that, we thank you again for having us, and we're going to be here. So just come on over informally if you'd rather and talk to us about any banking need that you might have. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, great.
Thank you guys.
Thank you, Lucy. Thank you very much. Paul, Natalie, Keith, thank you for coming this morning, and really, that was a great presentation.